14 misconceptions that irritate historians. 1. Medieval food was bland and tasteless. Spices were unknown to medieval Europeans, but they widely used herbs such as thyme and rosemary. They also used salt and ate a lot of vegetables, so medieval cuisine was certainly not bland. 2. Rosa Parks sat in the front of the bus. Parks was actually sitting in the colored section that day. She refused to give up her seat for a white man who asked for it. Parks was already an activist at that time, and her refusal was deliberate. 3. Tutankhamun's tomb was inscribed with a curse. The mummy's curse was a fanciful invention, and it was only invented by 20th century tabloids. There was no curse on King Tut's tomb or any other Egyptian tombs. 4. Spiral staircases in castles always went clockwise. Supposedly, this was a way to hinder right-handed attackers with swords, but in fact, many castles have anti-clockwise staircases. Moreover, spiral staircases were uncommon in military buildings. 5. The Aztecs mistook the conquistadors for living gods. This myth was created by Spanish historian Francisco López de Gamarra. He was the first to describe Hernán Cortes's Mexican expedition, but de Gamarra himself never went to Mexico. He wrote his account years later in Spain. 6. Coca-Cola invented the modern Santa Claus. The jolly old man in red robes was already a staple of pop culture. The image was used by numerous advertisers and newspapers in the early 1900s. The Coca-Cola company only started using it in the 1930s. 7. George Washington had wooden teeth. Washington was forced to wear dentures after ruining his teeth. He had a lot of sets, but none of them were made of wood. They were made of ivory, cow teeth, or lead. 8. The Titanic was called unsinkable by her builders. Some promotional materials did use this word, but with qualifications, as far as it is possible to do so, designed to be unsinkable. But that was pretty standard phrasing. Nobody claimed the Titanic was literally incapable of being sunk. 9. Mozart was poisoned by Salieri. Mozart did not die from poisoning, so no one poisoned him. The false rumor originated after Salieri's death. It was later dramatized in fiction until it became common knowledge. 10. Fortune cookies are an ancient Chinese custom. Fortune cookies were invented in Japan. They were introduced to the United States by the Japanese. The cookies are extremely rare in China, where they're seen as an American invention. 11. Buddha was fat. There's no evidence that the historical Buddha was overweight. The chubby Buddha is a 10th century Chinese folk hero, Budai. He came to be revered as an incarnation of Buddha much later. 12. Mussolini made the trains run on time. The Italian railways underwent extensive repairs in the 1910s. Mussolini and his fascist party only came to power in 1922. Moreover, the punctuality of the Italian railway service was pure propaganda. 13. NASA spent millions developing a space pen while the Soviets used pencils. The Fisher space pen was developed independently by businessman Paul C. Fisher. NASA tested it and purchased 400 pens at $6 per pen. The Soviet Union later also purchased a batch of space pens. 14. Absinthe used to contain hallucinogens. Absinthe doesn't have and never had any psychoactive properties. This misconception stems from late 19th century distillers. They produced cheap knockoff versions of absinthe. These were often adulterated with poisonous antimony trichloride.